The guns finally fell silent across the war-torn fields of Central Europe, but the echoes of the 30 Years' War would reverberate for centuries, fundamentally reshaping not just the continent, but the very concept of international relations. The Peace of Westphalia in 1648 wasn't just an end to a conflict, it was the dawn of a new era. But what was its true legacy? How did this devastating war forge the world we live in today? Let's start with the political map of Europe. Before the war, the Holy Roman Empire was a sprawling, complex entity. After the war, it was shattered into hundreds of semi-independent states. This fragmentation had a profound and lasting impact. While nations like France and England were consolidating their power, the German-speaking lands remained a patchwork of principalities. This division delayed the unification of Germany until the late 19th century, creating a power vacuum in the heart of Europe and setting the stage for future conflicts. A similar story unfolded in Italy, which also wouldn't unify for another 200 years. The dream of a unified Christian empire under the Habsburgs was over. Out of the ashes of the Holy Roman Empire, a new dominant power rose: France. Under the shrewd leadership of Cardinal Richelieu and later Cardinal Mazarin, France had played a masterful game. By supporting the Protestant side against its Catholic Habsburg rivals, France emerged from the war as the preeminent military and political force on the continent. This shift in the balance of power would define European politics for the next 150 years, leading to the age of Louis XIV, the Sun King, and cementing French cultural and political influence across the world. But the legacy of the war wasn't just about shifting borders and rising powers. It was deeply felt in the lives of ordinary people. The economic and demographic devastation was staggering. Some regions of the Holy Roman Empire lost over half their population to fighting, famine, and disease. Entire towns were wiped off the map. The recovery was painfully slow. It took decades, and in some cases over a century, for populations to return to their pre-war levels. The economic heartland of Germany was crippled, a setback that took generations to overcome. This deep scar on the land and its people would not be easily forgotten. And that brings us to cultural memory. A trauma of this magnitude leaves an indelible mark on the collective psyche. The 30 Years' War became a dark touchstone in European art and literature. From the gruesome etchings of Jacques Caillot depicting the miseries of war, to the picaresque novel Simplicissimus, which chronicled the adventures of a simpleton navigating the chaos, the war's brutality was captured for future generations. It created a powerful narrative about the horrors of religious intolerance and unchecked conflict, a narrative that would be invoked time and again throughout European history as a warning. Perhaps the most enduring legacy of all, however, is the one that still governs our world today: the modern state system. The Peace of Westphalia established a revolutionary principle known as Westphalian sovereignty. For the first time, it was formally recognized that each state, no matter its size or power, had exclusive sovereignty over its territory. It meant that a ruler had the right to determine their country's own domestic policy, including its official religion, free from external interference. This principle became the bedrock of international law. Every time we talk about national borders, territorial integrity, or the non-interference in the internal affairs of other countries, we are invoking a system born from the carnage of the 30 Years' War. In conclusion, the 30 Years' War was far more than just a long and bloody conflict. It was a crucible of change. It shattered old empires and gave rise to new ones. It delayed the birth of nations while simultaneously creating the very framework for the modern nation-state. Its legacy is woven into the political map of Europe, the balance of global power, and the fundamental principles that guide international relations to this day. The echoes of 1648 are all around us, a constant reminder of how a distant war shaped our modern world. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into the past interesting, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the history that shaped us. We'll see you in the next one.